This program brought to you in part by the Erica Lewis Endowment Fund.
Coming up, it's Coronoado taking on Bishop Gorman. This is Varsity Quiz. Hello and welcome. This is the 55th season of Varsity Quiz. We've got the best and the brightest high school students matching wits in this challenging academic competition. As we hope you know, there are now 2 Varsity Quiz leagues in each season's competition. We just crowned a Blue League champion a couple of weeks ago, so now the road to the Silver League title begins as Coronoado is taking on Bishop Gorman. We started with 20 schools in the Silver League, 3 divisions. Coronoado finished undefeated in their division with a record of 5-0. Let's meet their starters. For Coronoado, there's Xander. Hey, Xander. Sophia. Hi, Sophia. Miriam.
Howdy.
And Daniel, the coach for Coronoado. Let's meet him, Matt Aberman. Ladies and gentlemen, Coronoado. And for Bishop Gorman, now they finished second in their division, had a record of 5-2. Let's meet their starters. There's Cooper. Hey, Cooper. Carter. Hey, Carter. Zane. And Kevel. And the coach for Bishop Gorman, Jay Bonar. Ladies and gentlemen, Bishop Gorman. So we have 25 questions in this first round, each correct answer worth 5 points. By the way, a 5-point deduction if a team incorrectly answers a question before it has been fully read. Students, you ready? Let's play Varsity Quiz. A group of these animals began colliding with boats off the southern European coast in May of 2023, succeeding in sinking 3 of them. What type of animals are they? Coronoado, Miriam?
Walruses? Walruses?
No. Gorman, Cooper?
Dolphins?
No, these were orca killer whales. No points. Next question. Who was the author of the Federalist Papers? And that's Coronoado, Miriam.
James Madison.
That is incorrect, and that is an interrupt. I'll finish the question. A series of essays advocating for the ratification of the U.S. Constitution. Gorman, Kevel?
Alexander Hamilton.
That's the correct answer. Points on the board for Gorman. Let's keep going. The horseshoe crab is an example of what 2-word oxymoron that indicates it's much like its ancient ancestors. Coronoado, Sophia?
Modern descendant.
Good try, but incorrect. And we were looking for living fossil. Next question. What's the title of Shakespeare's tragedy set in ancient Rome? Coronoado, Miriam?
Julius Caesar.
That is correct. Next question. What type of reaction is used to create the energy of the sun? Coronoado, Daniel?
Fusion.
Can we take that? Yeah, I think we need to be more specific. Gorman, Cooper?
Solar fusion?
No, we were looking for nuclear fusion. Next question. What is the term for a type of singing that involves rapid switching between chest voice and head voice? Gorman, Kevel?
Yodeling.
Incorrect. Coronoado, Sophia?
Acapella.
No, we were looking for coloratura. No points. Next question. At what gulf does the Red Sea meet the Mediterranean Sea? Gorman, Cooper?
The Persian Gulf?
Incorrect. It's the Gulf of Aqaba. Next question. Who wrote the epic poem Paradise Lost? Coronoado, Daniel?
John Milton?
Yes. NASA's 4-pound helicopter Ingenuity was never expected to last long. Well, it's still flying over 2 years after it landed where? Now, you might say it has Perseverance, which is the name of the rover that it traveled with. Gorman, Zane?
Mars.
Yes. Next question is a calculation question, students. If a 120-pound person is standing on a scale in an elevator that is accelerating upwards at 10 miles per hour, what will the scale read? Repeating, 120-pound person standing on a scale in an elevator accelerating upwards at 10 miles per hour, what will the scale read? Coronoado, Miriam.
120 pounds.
Incorrect. Coronado, I'm sorry, Gorman, Cooper?
108 pounds.
No, we were going for 110 pounds. No points in the next question. HBO's got a new streaming app from 2023, supposed to carry a TV version of the Harry Potter series. What shortened version of its, and that's Coronado, Xander?
Max.
Correct. Lichens and other living things can break down rock. What's this process called? That's Gorman, Cooper?
Decomposition.
Incorrect. Coronado, Sophia?
Erosion?
No, it's called bioweathering. Next, another calculation question. A cube of an unknown substance has a height of 2 centimeters, a mass of 11.2 grams. What is its density? Repeating, cube of an unknown substance with a height of 2 centimeters, a mass of 11.2 grams. We'll go with Coronado, Miriam.
1.4 grams per centimeter cube.
That is correct. Next question. Which European nation completely stopped using electricity from nuclear power in 20? And that'll be Coronado, Xander.
Germany.
Yes. Nearly 100% of the sun is composed of which two elements? Coronado, Miriam?
Hydrogen and helium.
That's correct. In Hamlet, what's the name of Hamlet's uncle who becomes Gorman, Carter?
Claudius?
Yes. Which British theoretical physicist and cosmologist wrote books that made understanding the nature of time and black holes accessible to that's Coronado, Miriam?
Carl Sagan.
Incorrect, and that is an interrupt, accessible to non-scientists. Gorman, Carter?
Stephen Hawking?
That's correct. Next question. What became the world's tallest building in 2010? Coronado, Daniel?
The Burj Khalifa.
Yes. In August of 2023, Moscow backed out of a deal allowing Black Sea grain shipments from Ukraine, the breadbasket of Europe. Almost half of all Ukraine grain exports were shipped from which key port city until that move? Coronado, Daniel?
Donetsk.
No. Gorman, Kevel?
Odessa?
Yes. Next question. What fashion extravaganza fundraisers celebrated the first Monday of May in New York City with a different theme every year? Coronado, Sophia?
The Met Gala?
Yeah. Which African country experienced a civil war that resulted in the creation of Coronado, Sophia?
Sudan?
Yes. Next question. Which tech company became the first chip maker to reach a $1 trillion valuation in May of 2023 thanks to its dominance of the artificial intelligence market? Coronado, Miriam?
Tesla.
Incorrect. Gorman, Zane?
Intel?
No, we're looking for NVIDIA. Next question. Which galaxy is part of our local group and is the closest spiral galaxy to the Milky Way? Coronado, Miriam?
Andromeda.
That's correct. In 2013, Edward Snowden leaked classified information about mass surveillance programs by which government agency? Gorman, Carter?
The NSA?
Yes. A calculation question is next. In the standard XY coordinate plane, what are the coordinates of the midpoint of a line segment whose endpoints are -3, 0, and 7, 4? Again, standard XY. Oh, we'll go with Coronado, Sophia.
5,2.
Incorrect. Gorman, Kevel.
-1.5, 5.5.
Incorrect. We were looking for 2, 2. Hey, that wraps up our first round, but don't go anywhere. We're going to learn a little bit more about our players here. But how about a round of applause for both of these teams? You guys are doing great. So we want to start over here with Coronado. We will meet 11th grader Xander. Hey, Xander.
Hello.
You having fun so far?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Good. So this says here that you are currently rehearsing for a musical.
Yes, I am.
What musical is that?
Sister Act.
So Coronado puts on musicals?
Of course we do, yeah, every year.
That's wonderful. Well, good luck with that. What character are you playing?
I'm Joey. I'm like a gangster guy, you know.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. Good luck here on Varsity Quiz. Thank you, Xander. Here's Sophia, 12th grader. Hi, Sophia.
Hi.
Let's see. This says that you play a particular sport.
I play badminton. I love badminton.
Is there a team at Coronado, or is this just for fun?
No, we have a club, but no
Okay.
like team. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. And
Thank
good
you.
luck here on Varsity Quiz. Here's 10th grader Miriam. Hi, Miriam.
Hi.
Good to see you. This says here you recently went on a tour.
My family went to Universal Studios and we went to this Hollywood tour and we got to see the sets of some of the most famous movies. I saw the set of Jaws. I saw the sets of like some Netflix period dramas, The Good Place, Never Have I Ever. My favorite one was the one of American Psycho. We
Oh,
got to
sure.
see like Norman Bates going.
Yeah, that's
like
the
that.
crazy scene, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time there, and
Thank
good
you.
luck here on Varsity Quiz. Thank you,
Thank
Mary.
you.
Here's 12th grader Daniel. Daniel says you play a musical instrument.
I do. Electric
What do you play?
guitar. Electric guitar.
Are you in a band, or is this just for fun?
I'm working on making a band, and I'm working in the musical with Xander.
Oh, so you'll be in the pit, the
Yes,
orchestra.
we have a musical pit, and it's all funk music, so it's really quite guitar intensive.
Right on. Well, good luck with that. Good luck here on Varsity Quiz. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Coronado. All right, we're going to meet our players now from Gorman. We start with 12th grader Cooper. Hey, Cooper.
Hey.
It says here you have lived in 5 states. Which states have you lived in?
Well, so I've lived here in like Nevada for most of my life, but I've lived in Ohio, Alabama, Florida, and Virginia too.
Wow, you've been all over the place. How long you been in Nevada?
I've been here, I'd say about 10, 12 years.
Oh, okay. So you're a Nevadan.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, good. Hopefully, we'll keep you for a while, and good luck here at Varsity Quiz. Here's 12th grader Carter. Hey, Carter.
Well,
Now, a lot of folks may be able to figure out what this is that you participate in school, but would you explain what is a mock trial team?
yes. Well, I'm not really sure how to explain it quickly, honestly, but mock trial, we essentially just compete in like a simulated court case.
Oh, okay. Is that going okay for you guys?
Yes.
Well,
we
good
have
luck
regional
with that.
competition next month. Thank you.
Cool. And good luck here at Varsity Quiz. Thanks, Carter. Here is 12th grader Zane. Hey, Zane.
Hi.
It says here you were not born in this country.
I wasn't. I was born in London.
How long have you been in the United States?
Since I was a kid, but I moved to Florida first and then
Okay.
7 years ago to
Are you
Vegas.
maintaining dual citizenship?
Of course.
Good for you, man. And good luck here on Varsity Quiz. Thank you, Zane. Here is 9th grader Kevel. Hey, Kevel.
Hello.
Glad to have you here. This says here that you have some future aspirations, that you know what you want to be when you get out of school.
Yeah, I'm interested in like law and finance.
Well, those are 2 pretty big career fields.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
And
thank
good luck
you.
here on Varsity Quiz.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our team from Bishop Gorman. And the bonus round coming right up. The score going into round 2, Coronado has 50 points to Gorman's 30. We reviewed the answer that Coronado gave about the Federalist Papers, and we've taken away the interrupt and given them the points for the correct answer, so that explains our score. Coronado is keeping all of their same players from round 1. Bishop Gorman has added a new player. We say hello to Sage. Hi, Sage.
Hi.
Welcome aboard. So here we go with the bonus round, where each of 10 possible questions is worth 5 points. Now, the team that gives a correct answer will get 2 bonus questions, each of those worth 5 points. And we allow conferring on those bonus questions with 10 seconds allowed before we ask for a response from the captain. Now, this round is timed at 6 minutes, which begins as I read this question. Which of the 12 months of the year is first alphabetically? Coronado, Xander?
April.
Correct. Bonus questions now for Coronado only. These answers are in alphabetical order. First question, what is the first U.S. state alphabetically? Second, what is Canada's first province and territory alphabetically? You have 10 seconds.
Okay, so Alabama, Alberta?
Yeah.
First answer, Alabama. Second answer, Alberta.
Both are correct. You got bonus points. And now this question for both teams. What oath do physicians take that's named, that's Coronado, Sophia?
The Hippocratic Oath?
Yes, bonus questions now for Coronado only about scientific phenomena or concepts that are named after a person. First, give the 2-word term for the change in the frequency of a wave in relation to an observer who's moving relative to the source of that wave. Second, this term is defined as the number of constituent particles, usually molecules, atoms, or ions, per mole. You have 10 seconds.
Molarity.
Molarity? Okay.
Or no, Avogadro's constant.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
First answer, Doppler shift. Second answer, Avogadro's constant.
Avogadro's constant is correct. I'm checking on the first one. Yeah, I think we needed to have Doppler effect on that. So we'll give you some bonus points, but not all. And now this question for both teams. This Egyptian ruler was in Rome when Caesar was murdered in 44. Coronado, Miriam?
Cleopatra?
Correct. Bonus questions now for Coronado only. about Cleopatra. Although she was from a Greek family, first, she was considered to be a descendant of which Egyptian goddess? Second, Cleopatra's death marked the end of what foreign dynasty in Egypt? You have 10 seconds.
Dynasty. Okay, the first one, it could be Bastet, it could be Isis.
I think it's Isis.
Yeah, Isis, Mother of Horus. I think you're right. Okay. First answer, Isis. Second answer, Ptolemaic dynasty.
Both are correct. You've got bonus points. Now this question for both teams, and this is a calculation question, students. When x equals 3 and y equals 5, by how much does the value of 3 times 2 minus 2y exceed the value of 2 times 2 minus 3y? Repeating, x equals 3, y equals 5. By how much does the value of 3 times 2 minus 2y, we'll go with Gorman Kevel.
9.
Incorrect. Out of time? Okay, the answer was 14. No points that one. We move to next question for both teams. Name any 1 year during the life of Sir Walter Raleigh. Coronado, Daniel?
1900.
Incorrect. Gorman, Zane?
2011.
Incorrect. We were looking for anywhere between 1554 and 1618. Next question for both teams. John Keats wrote which poem about an ancient artifact? Coronado, Miriam.
Ode to a Grecian urn.
Can we take that? Yes. Okay, bonus questions now for Coronado only about literature. First, who was the only wizard to have escaped from Azkaban without anybody's help? Second, 4-year-old Bonnie Blue Butler died trying a horse jump in which novel? You have 10 seconds.
I'm just gonna guess like a Steinbeck novel, dude. Okay. First answer, Sirius Black. Second answer, Of Mice and Men.
First one's correct. The second answer's Gone with the Wind. Some bonus points, but not all. Now this question for both teams. What medical professional specializes in MRIs, X-rays? Coronado, Miriam?
Radiologist.
Correct. Bonus questions now about life science for Coronado only. First, daily aspirin therapy is recommended to help prevent what? And second, what do non-flowering plants produce instead of seeds? You have 10 seconds.
What was the first one?
Heart disease.
Okay, heart disease and cones. First answer, heart diseases. Second answer, cones.
I'm not sure about that. If we were looking for heart attacks or strokes for the first one, and the second answer is spores. No bonus points, but we have this question now for both teams. Name the American plan for rebuilding Europe after Gorman, Carter?
The Marshall Plan?
Correct. Bonus questions now for Gorman only about the Cold War. First, name the U.S. president during the fall of the Soviet Union. Second, name the Soviet leader whose rule ended in 1953. You have 10 seconds.
H.W. Bush, not W.
Okay. First one, George H.W. Bush. Second one, Joseph Stalin.
Both are correct. You got bonus points. And now this question for both teams. Give the term for a region of long, narrow, high-speed winds. That's Gorman, Zane.
A gust zone.
That is an interrupt. I'll complete the question for Coronado. High-speed winds that typically flow northeastward, eastward, and southeastward in the middle and upper troposphere or lower stratosphere. Coronado, Daniel?
Wind front.
No, we're looking for a jet stream. Next question. The American warship Old Ironsides was made mostly out of what? Coronado, Xander?
Lead.
Incorrect. Gorman, Sage?
Iron.
No, made out of wood. Speed round coming up. Going into round 3, here's your score. Coronado with 105 points to Gorman's 40. In this third round, though, anything can happen. Before we get going, we have 3 new players for each team. For Coronado, we say hello to Graham. Hi, Graham. There's Michael.
Hi.
Hey, Michael. And Samay. Hey, Samay.
Hello.
Welcome aboard. Gorman also has 3 new players. We say hello to Joseph. Hey, Joseph. There's AJ.
Hello.
Hi, AJ. And then there's Reed.
Hello.
Welcome aboard. So in this speed round, we have 30 possible questions. Correct answers, again, worth 5 points. Now, this round is timed at 6 minutes. We get to as many questions as we can. Obviously, if we get to all 30 before the 6 minutes is up, the round is still over, and we'll find out who won. So here we go. In 2011, what region of Japan was heavily affected by a massive earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear disaster? That's Coronado, Daniel.
Fukushima.
Correct. In what building would you be able to view Michelangelo's painting of the creation of Coronado, Daniel?
The Sistine Chapel.
Correct. Annually, the U.S. President is responsible for creating and presenting what planned, and that's Gorman, Carter.
The State of the Union.
Incorrect. That's an interrupt. What planned economic document to the Congress? Coronado, Daniel.
The annual budget.
I think we can take that. Correct. Next question. What Hemingway short story has a title referring to the cold precipitation on top of the highest African mountain? Have you read that was after the fact. Have you read The Snows of Kilimanjaro? Next question is a calculation question. We don't repeat here in the third round. In her artwork, Felicia wanted to draw a 22-sided figure. What will be the sum of the measures of the interior angles as she plans that out? Coronado, Samay.
3,600.
Correct. What Peruvian city, rediscovered in 1911, was founded in Gorman, Reed?
Machu Picchu.
That's correct. Next question. What three words tell what the Tesla measures as an SI unit? Coronado, Daniel.
Standard magnetic flux.
Incorrect. We're looking for magnetic field strength. Next question. Which organ produces bile to aid in digestion? Coronado, Graham.
The pancreas?
Incorrect. Gorman, AJ?
Gallbladder?
No, we're looking for the liver. Next question. In Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, who's the Queen of Hearts' archenemy? Gorman, AJ?
The White Queen?
Incorrect. Coronado, Samay?
The king of spades?
No, it's Alice. Next question. What's the name for the system of membranes and organelles involved in protein synthesis and lipid metabolism in cells? Coronado, Daniel.
Transcription.
Incorrect. Gorman, Reed?
Lipid bilayer.
No, it's one of my favorite terms, endoplasmic reticulum. Gesundheit. Next question. Due to demand for what material, many elephants have been slaughtered just to take their tusks? And that's Coronado, Daniel.
Ivory.
Yes. A dot above a musical note indicates that it should be played shorter than normal. What term is indicated? Coronado, Daniel?
Staccato.
Yes. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World's an example of what specific type of science fiction literature that imagines a future? Gorman, AJ?
Dystopia or dystopian.
I think we can take that. Yes, ma'am. In the human body, where does the majority of nutrient absorption occur? Coronado, Samay?
The small intestine?
Correct. In Othello, what's the name of Othello's wife? Gorman, Carter?
Desdemona.
Yes. The indigenous peoples of Oregon witnessed the birth of what deep lake around 7,700 years ago? Gorman, Reed?
Crater Lake.
Yes. The fall of which city is often considered the beginning of the Renaissance? Coronado, Samay?
Constantinople or
That's
Istanbul?
right, yes. What is the highest pitched member of the violin family? Coronado, Daniel?
The violin.
That's right. What is the name of Google's operating system for mobile devices? Coronado, Samay?
Google OS?
Incorrect. Gorman, Reed?
Android.
Yeah, that one. Al-Jazari is considered to be the father of engineering and the father of what field after creating the first programmable humanoid in 1206? Gorman, Reed?
Coding.
No. Coronado, Daniel?
Robotics.
That's right. The Great Gatsby was set in the age of which musical? Coronado, Daniel?
Jazz.
Yeah. In ecology, what's the term for the role or position that an organism has in its environment? Gorman, AJ?
Niche?
Yes. What empire was located in modern-day Iraq? Coronado, Daniel?
The Persian Empire.
I don't think that's correct, no. Gorman, AJ?
Safavid?
No, we were looking for Babylonia. Next question. Which ancient Roman poet wrote the epic Aeneid? Gorman, Carter.
Virgil.
Yes. In the process of DNA replication, what enzyme unwinds and separates the DNA strands? That's Gorman. Reed.
DNA helicase?
Yes. Who wrote the novel Moby Dick featuring Coronado? Daniel?
Herman Melville.
That's right. From what continent did Polynesia's settlers come around 1200 CE? Gorman. Reed.
Australia?
Incorrect. Coronado. Graham.
Egypt.
Incorrect. It was South America. No points. Next question. What's the technical term for the thigh bone? Coronado. Daniel.
The femur.
That's right. Which novel by Albert Camus explores the philosophy of absurdism through the character Meursault? That's Coronado. Daniel.
The stranger.
That's right. Name one of the oldest human fabrics which is woven from fibers of the flax plant. Coronado. Daniel.
Cotton.
Incorrect. Gorman. Joseph.
Silk.
No, we're looking for linen. We're out of questions, so let's find out who won. Final score tonight, Coronado 175 points to Gorman's 75. Thank you to both teams for an excellent match. And congratulations to Coronado on the win. We invite you to tune in next week because it's going to be Clark taking on Shadow Ridge for what's sure to be another exciting night of Varsity Quiz right here on Vegas PBS. Good night.